Oh my goodness, what a day it's been. So much up and down this weekend, and I just wanted to talk about being able to see our dark side. I know around Mother's Day I talked about this, but how we do things from that dark side. For example, I tend to yell and blame and shame my kids. I kind of be like, what's wrong with you guys? Why isn't anyone helping me? Because I feel so, indignant and like shocked that my kid, for example, this morning I asked him to come and help. We were kind of running late for getting to school, and I said, come help, with the lunch boxes, get them out onto the table and pack it. And then he came in and like, stop telling me what to do. And, he had already gotten himself ready. And then anyway, he was like, picked up the lunch boxes and like slammed them onto the table just to huff and puff, my 8-year-old to show me how upset he was. And I was just beside myself. I was like, excuse me? Right? Like so mad and felt so like unappreciated and like, I'm gonna make your breakfast and lunch. I didn't sleep well. I'm waking up. Make sure you get to school on time. Like that. Super, like, I'm sharing this with you guys because I want to be real with you guys that the struggle is real. You know what I mean? I don't think there are, even in the healing realm of people who I talk to, friends, colleagues, all of that, I don't think there's anybody on this planet who is immune to losing their shit, losing their cool, and then regretting it, and then bouncing back. But what I want to share is what to do. Right? A lot of times I would have so much shame around this. I would be like, oh my goodness, sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm just not even a fit mom. I would have all of this doubt, all of this guilt coming into me about how terrible I am as a mom and how much I'm, damaging my kids, especially when I know about the subconscious mind and how it forms, and how my clients, every time in hypnotherapy, the work takes us back to those early childhood memories of like wanting their parent to just hold them and tell them that they're okay and that they're loved. And here I am, like, how dare I cause this damage now, knowing full well, knowing how much therapy they might need in the future, how much that's going to affect their relationships in the future, their self-concept. Like, I'm watching myself wound these children that were given to me as blessings, as angels, you know what I mean, as pure spirit. And I am, writing these, for the most part, like, it's all love and connection. And even when we do have these moments, I come back down and I do apologize, and we do repair, and they do forgive. And children are just such angels around forgiveness. But it, instead of sitting with my guilt, and I want to encourage you about this, right? Because it was very, very powerful today what happened. And I want to share this because I know so many of us, parents, especially moms, even more so, sit in isolation. You know what I mean? We're like, I'm just the worst mother in the world, and I'm damaging my children, and and then we're like afraid to share with anybody else, or maybe we want to escape because we don't want to face that. But let me tell you, if we don't face it, if we don't hold ourselves accountable, how are we going to create change? This is our opportunity, especially if it bothers you when you yell at your kids, or if you attack them, or if you threaten them, or if you shame them, compare them to someone else. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing this and that? Or I expect you to do this. Like, all of this stuff that we're just like, throwing onto those like beautiful, pure spirits. And if you actually feel bad about that, that's your soul talking to you. That is like, you're having spiritual pain for putting this stuff on your kid. Like, every time it just crushes me that I can do that to my child, right? And then I desperately look for ways that I could, overcome this. I'm like, how do I know everything from the books? How is it possible that I help families resolve these issues and regulate themselves and take a pause and breathe? And I do all this morning routine, meditate, work my body out, try to eat nutritiously, like all of these things. How could I fail at this? You know what I mean? So I totally get that feeling of wanting to like hide and not show. So I want to let you know that you're not alone. If you're feeling this way, you're definitely not alone. And there is a way out, but it takes, work. It takes courage to be vulnerable and share this side of you. So what I decided to do is I shared with Stacy and David. I even shared with my best friend, and I said, like, I've been a monster mom. I yelled at my kid. I was like in tears, and I usually hide my tears because, especially the training I have, my default is to be the strong one. Not that tears is weak, but I don't show my vulnerability and tears because I'm trying to hold space for other people to have their tears and open up, right? So it's very difficult for me, and I'm sure with many other healers and helpers, especially teachers, even, to be stoic and appear to have everything together so that they can help other people. So anyways, we are human too. If you're a healer, helper, parent, teacher, know that you're human. Know that we all have these moments. And the important thing is, what do we do? So I opened up, I shared, I talked with these video or voice messages to David, to Stacy from our inner Sangha, to my best friend, and I said exactly what was happening. And then it was the most powerful thing, to be heard and understood and then guided, right? And I want you to really pay attention to those words: to be heard, to be understood, like someone relates to you, and then to be guided into what to do, how to listen, how to tune into yourself, and then to do the work. So then I meditated after I did the back and forth, and I really felt like acknowledged, validated, like I'm not alone. They relate to me, she relates to me. And then to be able to do the work, and I had this most powerful meditation where I just went into my inner child, because I know that anger, that loss of control is because of my little girl inside of me, that wounded little child inside of me, because none of us have had a perfect childhood. She's the one who's needing my attention. In those moments that we're reacting and yelling at our kids, it's actually our own little girl, little boy inside that's saying, hey, remember me, I need to matter right now, I need to be valued, I need to be appreciated, which is exactly how I felt. Like, I felt like I'm alone in all this. I'm carrying the weight of making breakfast and making lunch. Sounds so silly, but aren't all arguments. It's just that the profound part is it brings up our parts that still are crying for help, crying for attention, crying to be heard and seen so that they can heal. And so I was able to just really connect to the little Goli inside, nurture her, take care of her. All of my teachers, from spiritual, from family, I got to thank so many people for guiding me and helping me, because we're not on this journey. We're not meant to be on this journey alone, right? So reach out to your people, open up, be brave enough to open up to those you trust. You can reach out to me, you know what I mean? And then do the work, do the practice. So I meditated, had a good cry, journaled it all out. Track your personal history, journal it, because it's amazing what happens when you look back at your journal and you're like, oh, I was here just last week or a few months ago or last year. It's amazing. And then I danced, I moved the body, I moved the energy, and then I showered, and I do this love shower. So these are the things that worked for me, and I want to know what would work for you, and be honest with yourself. And private message or drop an emoji if this relates, if this resonates with you, with your experience. Know that you are not alone. We are all human. We are all having different versions of the human experience. We're all in this together, and there is a definite shift that's happening. So we are all, the more we can band together in our communities and feel connected, the more we can support this shift, this growth, this next level evolution of deeper understanding, deeper connection to our divine selves. Okay, love you lots, and share, comment, let me know how this lands with you. Bye.